What's going on, Naperville? It's Chris Grano with Keller Williams and the Graham Real Estate Group. Welcome to our first live edition of the podcast of the Naperville Weekly Market Update. This is the podcast where I answer the number one question that I'm asked every single day, and that's how's the market? So we're bringing this to you live on YouTube, and you can, of course, check it out on the podcast platforms, whether you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts. Anywhere you find good podcasts, you can certainly check it out there. Or if you want to keep checking us out on YouTube, just make sure you go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Chris Grano. Click on the subscribe button and then hit the little bell icon, and it will tell you every time that I go live, okay? So let's dive right into this week's numbers for Naperville real estate and not waste any time. So it's Monday, October 5th. We're looking at the past 7 days of activity in the Naperville market here. And so right now we're looking at 100 new listings here in Naperville. Okay, that number is down just a little bit from last week and continually down over the last couple of months. We saw very low inventory over the summer, and it hasn't stopped yet. And in fact, in some markets like Naperville, the inventory has gotten even tighter. Let's look at number of homes under contract. We have 85 homes under contract this last week, which again is down quite a bit actually over last week, down 13%. Number of homes sold in the last 7 days are 91. So that's homes that have closed. Remember, those homes went under contract about a month to 2 months ago. Let's look at interest rates. So interest rates have been a big story all summer. Incredibly low. We had historically low interest rates in the beginning of August. They've climbed a little bit since then, although the 15-year rate is still incredibly low. You'll see that in just a second. But the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage right now is sitting just a hair above 3%, which is still a great rate when you look at the history of the mortgage market. 15-year fixed rate, as I mentioned, still a really low rate, 2.42. So now's the time. If you haven't refied yet, it might be the time to refi to a 15-year, or if you're purchasing a new home, consider looking at a 15-year because you're obviously going to get a much better rate and you're going to pay the home off much quicker. Let's look at inventory. I mentioned that it was low. It's low in every market in our Chicagoland area and around the country. But here in Naperville, when we look at these three different price brackets, if you've listened to the podcast before, you know I talk about homes under $500,000, homes between $500,000 and $1 million, and then homes above the $1 million mark. Well, that under $500,000 bracket right now, we have a month's supply of inventory, which is an indicator of the pace of the market, tells us how many homes are coming for sale and how quickly they're selling. Right now, we have a month's supply of inventory of 2.36. This is the lowest, one of the lowest markers we've seen all year in that price bracket. And it is an indication of a strong seller's market, which is why you're seeing multiple offers. You're seeing homes go very quickly. Right now, in the last week in that price bracket, we're looking at an average of 45 days on market. So a month and a half on average for those homes to sell, which means some are selling in a weekend and some which maybe aren't priced right or maybe don't have the best photos are taking a little bit longer to sell. When we look at that bracket between $500,000 and $1 million, we're looking at 3.31 month supply of inventory. That number is down from last week. It's actually the lowest I've seen it all summer. I guess it's fall now, but the lowest I've seen it pretty much at any point this year. And we're looking at 129 days on market for that price bracket. So really, again, a strong seller's market, even in that higher price point. When we get over $1 million, it's a very, very different market. Obviously, there's only so many homes for sale in Naperville that are over $1 million. We are looking at 14.3 months supply of inventory, which is pretty typical. Around a year or a little bit longer than a year is pretty typical for that luxury market. But the days on market are still pretty low, only looking at 128 days. So again, just over 4 months. So the story continues to be very light inventory. We don't exactly know, when things are going to pick up again. So if you have been thinking about selling, it is still an incredible time to take advantage of it. And if you want to buy, it's still a great time because rates are low. Just be prepared to be moving quickly and, to maybe wait a little bit until you find exactly what you like. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to today's Naperville Weekly Market Update. We're going to be live every week. And as I promised, I'm also going to be expanding to other West Suburban markets with this update. But be sure to tune in and follow me on other platforms, Instagram and Facebook at Chris Grano Realtor. Find me on the web at chrisgrano.com. Hope you have a great week,